Hi, my name is Gosia McCain and I represent Merseyside Polonia. Merseyside Polonia is an organization that we started in 2008 because there was lots of Polish people who came to the UK after Poland joined EU. And we realized that actually there is a need to introduce the local community but as well local services to Polish people so they understand how to live here and how to feel here at home. But as well we wanted to present Poland to the local residents because we wanted them to see Poland the way we see it and the way we love it, not the image of ruins after the Second World War, because still I think sometimes that image is really engraved in people's memory. At the events we presented Polish culture, Polish cities, landscape, but as well tried to challenge some stereotypes. So we mentioned that we don't have the polar bears walking on the streets. For some people that was a bit of a shock because I think they positioned Poland kind of close to Siberia. So when we presented images of Polish beaches in Gdańsk during summer with people sunbathing, that was a bit of a shock. But I think that was a good way of meeting together and finding more about each other. So at the end of each event we had as well a buffet of Polish food. So people had the chance to meet and talk and ask questions. So there was like a little world where it was okay to be different, where it was okay to ask questions and find out more about other cultures. And what was really fantastic is that through that we met loads of people who wanted to be more involved and maybe carry on, because initially Merseyside Polonia was just a project that we planned for 8 months. So after the 8 months, in June 2009, we registered as organization. And from then on, we started planning different events. So we were developing a calendar of Polish traditions, Polish history, anniversaries, celebrations. I think it was in 2009 we did a big event at Liverpool Town Hall. That was about commemorating 70th anniversary of the World War II, of the beginning. So we did it on the 1st of September, which is different in Poland, it's different here, because in England it's remembered on the 3rd of September when England joined the war. It was really fascinating because we try again to show the stories from Poland and from England. So we presented photographs from the National Museum from Poland and photographs from Liverpool after the war, so people could realize the similarities of experience from those countries. It was really touching and it was really moving event. But as well we developed loads of events about celebrating traditions, celebrating culture. So one of the great successes is our Easter workshops. We do it now already for 3 years. The first time we've done it we had 200 people coming, we were shocked. But then the second it was 250 and last year 500, so it seems people enjoy it. So at the workshops we decorate Easter eggs, we talk about Polish traditions and share some ideas of what we do for Easter. And it's really enjoyable. It's a chance for people to come together as a family, for the Polish community, for local community. And I think what's really interesting is that often local people that come say, oh yes, we have great-grandfather who was Polish. So they bring the grandchildren to share the traditions maybe from their ancestors. So I think that's really uplifting. Another event that we do now for a good few years is Love in Every Language. We do it for Valentine's Day in February. And we invite people from Liverpool who come from different countries to share their love poetry from their country. So they present it in their own language, but as well in English, so people have a chance to understand. It's again really enjoyable, and I remember last year we had somebody coming from Iraq, a man who was presenting his love poem. And it was really touching because again, sometimes we have stereotypes about different cultures, and this project is a chance to go beyond that. This year in summer we did this series of events called Communities Through Film, and through that project we presented short films from different minority groups. And it was a chance to understand how different communities operate, what's important, what's the system of values, but as well ask the representatives questions that maybe we don't have answers to find out more about them, so we are not scared and we are not frightened to go and see what they do, but as well part of their communities. So I think it's quite interesting because I think first of all we try to bring Polish culture, but as well we try to make people aware of other cultures that are in Liverpool. Because in Poland I don't think we have so many diverse communities, so I think sometimes when Polish people come to Liverpool they are not sure really what words to use to describe different communities. They don't know about other traditions or other ways of being. So our mission statement as Merseyside Polonia, it's to develop positive relations between the Polish community and local residents. And we do it through the events, but as well through sharing information, so people have a chance to find out more about each other, and I think feel better together in Liverpool. I think one of the things that we are particularly proud in Merseyside Polonia is our volunteers. I think what's fantastic is I know that Polish people, when they come here, very often they have to think first of survival, so they have to find a job, a house, and very often they do work long hours. So I think what's really great is when they still want to come and help as volunteers. I think currently now we have 27 volunteers, so that's fantastic. And people are really involved and really supportive. I think it's fantastic because people try to help each other and encourage each other to work together and to develop Merseyside Polonia. I think what's great as well is the quality of the work we do. And it is down to volunteers because of the skills, the knowledge they bring and their passion for work.
I've lost my passport to love. It's all over, never, never, never to return home. And all the stamps we gathered are all in vain. I've lost my passport to love again. Nasza miłość nigdy nie wróci. Koniec, nasza miłość nigdy nie wróci. I've lost my passport to love. I've lost my passport to love. And all the things we dreamed of, and all the memories we shared, and all the people we met, how could we let our love go down? Koniec, nasza miłość nigdy nie wróci. Koniec, nasza miłość nigdy nie wróci. I've lost my passport to love. I've lost my passport to love. And the tears and the tears and the tears and the tears and the tears, they just fall down like rain. Will I ever, will I ever, will I ever, will I ever, 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 ever feel the same? And I've aged 1,000 years. Will I ever love again? Koniec, nasza miłość nigdy nie powróci. Koniec, nasza miłość
I'm the Deputy Lord Mayor of Liverpool. I've been working with Merseyside Polonia now for 4.5 years since I got elected as a councillor, as a politician in an area called Old Swan, which also covers Stanley, Broad Green and Stonycroft as well. And I was a little bit involved with St Cuthbert's School, where I know the Polish community and the children meet every Saturday morning. And but more so, I've been involved with Merseyside Polonia in the last 6 months when I became Deputy Lord Mayor, and I will continue that involvement. And through Merseyside Polonia, of course, I met the new Council General of Poland when he arrived in Liverpool in September, and we've become great friends since. And I wouldn't have met the Council General if it hadn't been for Merseyside Polonia. We met in the town hall and we shared bread, and then a week later we met at the Fact Cinema to watch the Officer's Wife documentary, which was very moving, and that was a strangely wonderful evening, but we become great friends, and it was through Merseyside Polonia. So well done, and thank you for becoming my friend, and I'll be a lifelong friend to Merseyside Polonia and to the Polish community as well.
It's Łukasz Tostański, Polish Consul General from Manchester. Merseyside Polonia is probably one of the 3 or 4 the best Polish non-governmental organization working in the northern England. What I really appreciate in your projects is that you successfully join Polish and English traditions, beliefs to keep the understanding effective. And you are so effective, and we want to support your organization in the future as well as we did it in the past, because we really love your job as a Merseyside. And I always tell the young people coming to England after 2004, these newcomers here, to create the organization like Merseyside, because for us it's a benchmark organization.
It's all the lies between us. Come to
I am Barbara Idasiak. I'm with Merseyside Polonia for almost 2 years. I think it started from one meeting of a Merseyside Polonia forum. My friend, which I was working with, Viola Kubicka, asked me to go for the meeting. She was attending the meeting called Love in Every Language, and she found it very exciting and thrilling. She told me that she met a fantastic people there, and then she just gave me a few informations about the Merseyside Polonia forum, which I found very attractive for myself. She took me for a meeting. That's how I met Gosia McCain and other volunteers who were already there. My beginnings wasn't very thrilling. I just enjoyed spending the time with the people, talking about such a subject as education in Liverpool, health service, social service as well. And basically on a Merseyside Polonia forum we talked a lot about developing the service for Polish people in Liverpool, about gaining the attention and making the awareness of existence of a Merseyside Polonia. We tried to get to the Polish people. We tried to create our marketing plan. I thought it was like a very slow beginning, but then it grew so fast. I noticed that Merseyside Polonia had a Facebook fan page, and they had a few problems with a website which is still not developed, unfortunately. So I offer my service to Gosia because I'm quite like a Facebook animal and I know what I'm doing, and I knew I could fill the content of the page and I could brought a wider audience to the page. And during 3 months, because I start my working on a Facebook site in March, I brought plenty of people. I think I managed to brought around 200 instead of 20 people who were watching the websites on the beginning. I start upload the content. On the beginning it was only the content which I found on a Liverpool sites. It was all about the Liverpool cultural events which I found attractive, and I thought it's really nice to share with people. Then Gosia had the idea to bring some cultural program to the audience. We developed my favorite book events and Play Poland, which in my dreams or in my thinking might be kind of a film discussion club or social film club, but it just end up like a quite short festival. So I become a project manager of this film project. We received the short films and we decided to create each month a meeting with a different type of the films. It was a big success for us because we get the audience and it was getting bigger and bigger with each screening. Different people were coming and they really enjoy it, but we were still in a need of a more professional project manager who got like a better knowledge of a film. And when the opportunity came, we hired Honorata Mikolajew, who was actually after the film studies, and I felt really relieved that somebody will continue my work and develop the communities through film project, which I think was a really great success. I was happy because for me personally, I always was a big fan of photography. I always wanted to do the pictures, and I was thinking like I really miss good pictures from the film screenings because I really needed the images which will actually show the atmosphere which was on screenings during the discussion. There was such a big potential which you could just upload these stunning images of the people smiling, getting the connection, or being in a vivid discussion. It was just disappearing, and for me as a photographer that was quite disappointing. So that's why I was so happy to have a Honorata in our team, because then I knew I could go and take the pictures which I knew will be good kind of an advertisement or just a good memoir to our history, to our website. It will be good content which actually shows the atmosphere and the things which we are doing. So that's how I became a Merseyside Polonia photographer. It's very responsible role because you need to take a good picture which shows the atmosphere that later people who will be looking on our Facebook page will see this actual event happening. We don't want to have there anyone sad, because actually the people are happy on our meetings, but sometimes if you are not experienced you can get the picture which people doesn't look very attractive, and I really knew what I wanted to take the picture of, and I really knew what I wanted to show. So I really was happy to become the photographer, and for me the best moment was to photograph our third birthday, because it was such a happy event. It was a little bit stressful because we have a Polish consul there, we had a famous pianist, we have really posh event held in a Philharmonic hall, and I was really stressed that I will not develop such a good quality photos. But then when the event finished, I looked on the picture and I was amazed, because I see all those happy persons. I don't want to flatter myself, but the people actually looked good on those pictures. And later Gosia McCain told me that all the persons from her work are just saying, "Whoa, what a great photos you have in there," and they really like them. So I felt, yeah, my mission is complete, and I was very happy.
Motylku, 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 gdzie ty teraz lecisz? Motylku, 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 bo nie widzę twych kolorów i nie widzę ciebie. Motylku, 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 romantycznie mam te słowa dla ciebie. Motylku, 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 ale ty lecisz gdzieś indziej, ale ty lecisz gdzieś indziej. Szukam cię po Warszawie, na ulicach i w maleńkich kącikach. Szukam cię po Warszawie, na ulicach i kącikach.
2012 was a very big year for Merseyside Polonia. We done so many projects that I still cannot believe we done so many. We done this third birthday, which were quite big and posh, as I mentioned before. Then we had this event, Communities Through Film, which was a great success. Then we had book projects. Then we had a Play Poland festival, which was this time held in fact. I was a project manager of the Independence Day celebrations. The event was held in the St. George Hall, which is quite prestigious place, and I think it's just like a right place to hold such an event. Maybe the name of it wasn't quite right because the event was more about the Second World War, so I think it was just like a Polish version of an English Remembrance Day. On the one side we had an old lady who actually fight for a Polish freedom. She told us about the Warsaw Uprising, and it was amazing and a horrifying story. And then we had a young girl, half English, half Polish. Her name is Katy Carr, and she's a singer and a songwriter, and she's inspired by such stories as that. And I think that was a very touching to see a young person living with the history, having passion and a respect for it, and creating something really memorable, really touching and really unique from those stories, because inspired by the history of the Second World War, Katy creates music. She creates a record called Passport, which is all about Second World War, about love, about lost identity, about lost freedom, about changes. It's touching, it's really thrilling. And I remember on this event, after listening to Katy, so I feel a really big respect and really warm feelings about my country, about Poland. I felt really proud of being Polish, and I think it changed me a little bit, and now I got the ability to look on a Polish history from a different perspective, which I'm really thankful for. I would like to thank Katy for that, and Merseyside Polonia for giving me the chance to change my thinking.
Have you come to save my time? The road is long and the river is so deep. Wojtek, my love remains. Wojtek, have you come to save my time? Help me find my way back to Poland. I'm thousands of miles from home. Help me find my way back to Poland. I'm thousands of miles from home. Wojtek, have you come to save my day? Wojtek, have you come to save my day?
Hi, I'm Jakub Gościnny and I'm in Merseyside Polonia for a year and a half now. My journey started when I graduated from University of Liverpool, and I sort of thought, because I'm staying in Liverpool afterwards, why not just join in and volunteer for the Polish community. And one of my friends suggested to contact Gosia McCain, and we set up a meeting and had a really pleasant conversation, and that's how it started, really. And I've seen, like, the last year and a half, the growth of the organization was tremendous. I think we've made so many new events, and as well the level on professionalism of all the events and all the volunteers it's incredible at this point. And I think there is a bright future ahead of the organization. When I started in Merseyside Polonia, I pretty much met the team and got involved in any events that were going at the time. I was doing various things. There's signing sheets. I had to step in once on a film event to run the whole thing. So play the films, run the debate, the discussion. I went to some of the events. I just went as a guest, just to because they were something of my interest. I went to the book club. Since then, I've been pretty much doing anything that we could do in Merseyside Polonia. And some of the book events, I was just making teas and coffees. So as a volunteer, you're pretty much prepared to do whatever is needed of you and whatever is needed for the organization and the event. So that's the sort of spirit I try to keep. And I've project managed some of our events. We went to the graves of Polish soldiers, to Omskirk and Liverpool on the All Saints' Day, which was a first for us as well, and was quite an incredible experience seeing all those graves in Omskirk being maintained so well by English people. So it was quite a remarkable day to visit all those graves. And I'm pretty excited to say that there's a massive event coming up in June. We are planning to do a Polish Midsummer festival in the heart of Liverpool, in Liverpool 1. At the moment, we can't say any more details, really. It's just for you to tune in and to keep up with our work and see exactly what we're going to come up with, but I think it's going to be big.
Chodźmy partyzanci, walczymy dla kraju. Chodźmy partyzanci, pojedziemy w las. Może nie wrócimy, ale chodźmy partyzanci, pojedziemy w las. Lesie, pomóż naszym druhnom i harcerzom i żołnierzom. Lesie, pomóż naszym dziewojom oraz leśnym ludziom z Armii Krajowej. Chodźmy partyzanci, walczymy dla kraju. Chodźmy partyzanci, pojedziemy w las. A jak nie wrócimy, to zapamiętajcie, że mamy was w sercu i kochamy was.
Niech żyje Polska niepodległa, niech żyje Polska niepodległa, niech żyje Polska niepodległa, niech żyje Polska niepodległa.
Chodźmy partyzanci, walczymy dla kraju. Chodźmy partyzanci, pojedziemy w las. Może nie wrócimy, ale chodźmy partyzanci, pojedziemy w las.
My name is Asha, and I've been working for Merseyside Polonia for over 2 years now. With Merseyside Polonia, it's actually quite funny the way I found out and I finally got got to write to Gosia because I was actually living in Germany and I was writing my project while away for my university here in Liverpool, and it was something to do with informal learning and youth work. And when I was writing about this in Hamburg, in Germany, about these organizations, I decided to write to UK and decided to, when I come back to the UK, I want to get involved more in work like this. And they recommended me to contact Gosia McCain, and they said that would be really interesting for me because it's a Polish community, and they work with adults, they work with youth, and it's sort of like a non-profit organization, and they do a lot of stuff. I've decided to write to them, and then I thought when I come back to Liverpool, I will contact Gosia and George and Yellow House. And I did. I met George first, and then he told me about Gosia. And then he kind of died, and then I started working with someone, and then again they told me, I told them that I would love to get involved in more community work, and then again told me about Merseyside Polonia. So I decided to Google it, and I emailed finally Gosia, and we met in person. I went to a few volunteers meetings, and I had lots of ideas, and somehow a few months after, I was a project manager for literature, and the literature project started very slowly, and the idea was very basic. It was basically a chance for the local people to come and to talk about their favorite books from all over the world. We did like themed workshops when we had a storyteller, we had a poetry, love in every language. I mean, it turned out that a lot of people really want to share their experience with books, and suddenly local publishers started writing to us, and they were really interested in coming and joining to the events and showing their books they've recently translated into English, and we were really happy to do that as well. So in the past few months, we've been working with Coma Press publishers, with Verso publishers, and it's been really interesting, busy few months for Merseyside Polonia, and I'm really happy that I could be a part of this.
Traveling to you, oh baby, I just know I'll keep on traveling to you. Traveling to you, oh baby, I just know I'll keep on traveling to you. And when I get to all those magic places, I know you will be there waiting. Traveling to you through Africa, Asia, America too. Traveling to you, oh Mexico, she's beautiful, and Egypt too. The pyramids, the deserts, the oceans are magic, mean nothing without you. I'll keep on traveling, traveling, traveling home with a hope. Hope we'll be together again. I'll keep on traveling, traveling, traveling home with a hope. Hope we'll be together again. Your love will keep me strong. Your love, your love, your love, your love, your love will bring me home. Oh, never disappear. Oh, never, never, never let your love disappear. I know this time is wrong. Have we said goodbye forever? Traveling, traveling to you. Traveling, traveling to you. Traveling, traveling to you. traveling to.
My name is Teresa Gastwa. So I arrived at Merseyside Polonia events about a year ago. Actually, it was Play Poland festival about Polish movies. So I've enjoyed it a lot, and I thought it's worth coming to the next event. So actually, the next event was St. Andrew's Night. And from then on, I got involved, and I got involved heavily in promotion. So we've managed to increase the guest count a lot, to the degree that we needed a lot more people. And from then on, we started executing loads of events. And at the end, I became a project manager to the event that I've actually come as a second one. So here I am, only a year, but we've come a long way. What I do to promote the organisation is I get in touch with the press. I do a lot of press releases. I also do post-press releases about how the event went, just to keep people informed. We do poster designs. We do kind of personal invitations. So if we see that there's an organisation that might be involved in anything that we do and could cooperate with us, we would liaise with them and kind of create that sort of cooperatives, and it works out quite well because we manage to bridge communities through that. It works out quite well for everyone.
Kocham cię, Janku, mój Janku. Going into the woods, and you think you can keep me from him. I'm going into the woods, and you think you can keep me from him. But I'm doing it for myself, but I'm doing it more for him. And I love my little Janek, and I'm doing it all for him. And he takes my hair, and it's golden. And he takes my hand, and I'm a dancing. He says, Mawa, 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 little flower, you're the one for me. He says, Mawa, 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 little flower, you're the one for me. And he picks me up in my wedding dress, and he takes me to the hall, and he grabs on me so tightly, and all the pins begin to fall. He says it's bad, bad, bad luck to see me before the wedding day. He says, Mawa, 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 little flower, 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 I'll be back for you at the end of the day. And I'm doing it all for him, but I'm doing it more for me. And I pledge allegiance to Poland, and I pledge allegiance to him. He says, Mawa, 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 little flower, you're the one for me. He says, Mawa, 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 little flower, you're the one for me. Did I hear the guns fire? Did I hear the guns fire? Did I hear the guns fire? Will I see him again? Did I hear the guns fire? As I run away, he says, Mawa, 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 little flower, 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 I'll be back for you at the end of the day. And I'm doing it all for him, but I'm doing it more for me. And I pledge allegiance to Poland, and I pledge allegiance to him. He says, Mawa, 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 little flower, you're the one for me. Mawa, 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 little flower, you're the one for me. Mały, 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 mały kwiatku, ty jesteś moją dziewczyną. Mały, 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 mały kwiatku, ty jesteś moją dziewczyną. Mały, 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 mały kwiatku, ty jesteś moją dziewczyną. Mały, 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 światku, ty jesteś moją dziewczyną. Kocham cię, Janku, mój Janku, mój Janku, mój Janku.
My name is Honorata Mikolajew and I'm working for Merseyside Polonia since April 2012. I found the information about the organization on the internet and I decided to be the volunteer. Next I contact Gosia McCain, and when she have heard that I studied film direction and I have interest in films, she told me to be the project manager of the communities through film, which finally was a great success. I cooperate with many different communities. We showed Muslim, African, Indian and Jewish films. We were hosting such a great guests like Bishaka Sarkar. They were amazing events. Next, I was project manager of the Officer's Wife screening at Picture House at Fact. We cooperate with Cressy Siberia UK, and we were hosting the director of the film Piotr Uzarowicz, who came from Los Angeles. Next, I was hosting Play Poland Festival. We showed two great films: Joanna by Felix Falk, very famous Polish film director, and Fear of Falling, made by awarded Polish young filmmaker Bartosz Konopka. I also was project manager of the jazz event in October. We were hosting the great Polish pianist Michał Ciesielski from Gdańsk. At the end, I was project manager of Christmas workshops in the World Museum. I also recording podcasts for Merseyside Polonia, making photos and administrate the Facebook page. I love Merseyside Polonia team, and I must admit that I have met amazing people here.
I dreamt of your red, red rose when I knew I couldn't find my way back home. I dreamt of your red, red rose when I knew I couldn't find my way back home. Home, past those German soldiers. Home, past those Russian soldiers. Hiding under the velvet curtain. Hiding under the iron curtain. Where I sing my song. so I sing for my love, and I sing for my heart, and I sing for my love, and I sing for my heart, and I sing for my love, and I sing for my heart. I saw a black, black train take my baby away, so I sing for my love, and I sing for my heart, and I sing for my country, and I sing for my heart, and I sing for my country, and I sing for my